Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Garage Gym Experiment podcast. My name is Adam. That's Jake. We're back again for another great episode. On tonight's episode, we have a HomeGymCon update. It's approaching fast. The excitement is unbearable. We also have some new product releases. A super exciting day today. If you were on your socials today, was the release of the Adonis Tower. So we're definitely going to talk about that from Rep. And then we're going to talk about the Exponent Edge Infinity Bench as well, and a little comparison with that Adonis Tower. We'll get into some survey results. We asked you about fads and things that are here to stay. Jake went to California and went to Ursa, so he's going to talk to us about all the cool stuff he got to see out there. And then with our fictitious kind of home gym builds, we are adding our first 3 purchases under $100. So if you've been keeping up, we'll continue those builds. Let's get to that HomeGymCon update. Jake.
All right. Thank you, Adam. So 3 new vendors since we last chatted. So number 1, HarambeSystem.com. They have kind of a portable, banded, all-in-one little solution for you. Something actually really cool is that at Goob_U2, who is like very well known for
he's the call out guy.
He's the call out guy.
Photos call out guy. Yeah.
And
blowing up on Insta.
I think he's at like 600,000 followers and like crazy engagement. So him and Jim Katie will actually be running the Harambe booth, which is like awesome.
It's a 2 birds, 1 stone kind of get for HomeGymCon.
2 birds, 1 stone. I don't know exactly where they're coming from, but what a great addition. We also have extreme training equipment, and then Mars Bar. So Zach doesn't necessarily have a booth, but he is going to French Lick. His bars are supposedly going to be at the Titan, Rogue, and then also Solid Bar booth. So he'll be traveling around. Yeah. I think that was good enough to make him be a vendor. So that's actually 82 vendors in total right now. So did give a little bit of an incentive for vendors. Yep. You saw the email, yeah. A little incentive if we can get to 100. Cheaper rates next year, or cheaper rates this year. So we'll see. A lot happened like the last 30, 40 days going into last year. So I do think like there is a chance that we can get to 100 vendors, which would be very cool.
Yeah. And speaking of Goob, I hope I'm saying that right. I don't want to, picking on my photos too much. But speaking of influencers, we had some announcements as well with the Massonomics guys making their way down to French Lick. They'll be doing some stuff down there. Goob will be there. And then are we announcing the other one, Jake?
Yeah, I actually have it on this next slide. So I'll
Go ahead.
I'll take that in. Gluck's going to be there. So Massonomics and Gluck are both special guests from Bells of Steel. So we greatly appreciate Bells of Steel for helping to send this group out. So I believe Winnie and Adrian are going to be there as well. So got the duo.
Just chatting with a few others, like Flex Marks the Spot. I saw him doing some snatches. I said, hey, man, you competing this year? He's dealing with a shoulder tweak, but he's going to be out there as well. Jake, a couple other names you got on you?
Yeah, Matt Pendergraft's coming. Rob, Vintage Weights PGH, Kurt, Ashton from Freedom Fitness Equipment. He has a big YouTube following, and we'll be doing content rather than having a booth this year. John from Garage Gym Life.
Yep.
I know I'm missing someone or a few.
Well, we for sure have Kyle
and
coming down.
I'm missing Kyle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice like Mike.
Right.
Yeah. So a ton of people doing content and, just nice people to have around. I think
82 vendors with these type of influencers. There's going to be some awesome content for the home gym community that's going to trickle into YouTube and social media for like months afterwards. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Let's see, what else do we have? So there may not be any more room at the resort. It may just be filled up right now. I had a few people who were able to sign up today using the group discount, but it might be gone. There could be a waiting list, but the big issue is Saturday is like completely booked. So like throughout the entire resort. So I mean, you could stay other days, but Saturday is like super expensive if you want to stay there. But there are a few other options. There's a Best Western that is a 3-minute drive, and it's like even cheaper than the room discount, so not quite as nice of a place, but it's also right around the corner. And then there are also like Airbnb cabins within driving distance if you want to maybe get a group together and go. So still doable to definitely get down there if you want to, or if you want to pay more for the resort, you can certainly do that as well.
That group rate was huge. I mean, we went from like $500 a night at this hotel. It is that nice, I'm telling you from experience. Group rate dropped it down to like under $200.
And then lastly, just want to emphasize that we've added more grip prizes to the grip strength competition, being led by Rob. So we had him on a few weeks ago. We had a couple of prizes, but I just wanted to say that we've added a few more to this free competition. Minimum of $2,500.
What'd you say, Jake? Free competition? You mean you show up, you sign a piece of paper, and you compete? That's
cool. Right. Free.
I would do that.
Well,
Friday,
you gotta buy a ticket.
You gotta have off Friday. Got to be there in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah. It eats into some of your browsing time, but if you have a full weekend ticket, this might be a good way to get some action in, and also have a chance to win some prizes. So $2,500 cash will be dispersed somehow. A bear post, an edge bar from Exponent Edge, Saxon grips, rep open trap bar, which will be part of the medley. Most of these things are part of the competition. 2 4-inch globe attachments, like cable attachments from Porter Phys Ed. His donation to the competition, we appreciate.
Love it.
A blob trainer from Stronger Grip, a 4-inch globe dumbbell handle from Black Widow. And then also I left off on this list, but there's a hammer from Stronger Grip as well.
Oh, sweet.
So that'll be cool. And then 5 pairs of fat grips. So I will say, I think we have right around 20 people competing. Whereas a few weeks ago we had like 6.
Can I cut in real quick?
Yeah.
If you are coming early and you are planning on it, it would be better for you to just sign your sheet and buy your ticket now early. I do have this feeling that at the door early in the morning, trying to get these waivers signed and everything, be easier us for planning reasons and for you to get in and start testing with the implements if you do this beforehand. But of course, if you decide last minute, we'll be there to help you too. So, yeah. All right, new product. We have a new product from a HomeGymCon vendor. It's Exponent Edge, their Edge Infinity Bench. If you're looking at the media there, it is a adjustable bench, but then the back folds down to turn it into a military press style bench. So you can use this military press. I don't know if you guys, when you're pressing on a full, a bench with a full back, that upper back portion kind of gets in the way. So a military bench is nice to have. This one does that. And then you can use that half bench that sits off the back for things like chest supported rows as well. So pretty cool product. I'm guessing it'll be in French Lick.
It sure will be. And I think it'll be up for new product of the year. I mean, I would love to use this with something like my Force USA rack with all the cables, and it has the jammer arms where you wouldn't necessarily have to put your full back on it for certain things. Yeah, I think this is a real good option specifically for like bodybuilders too, or anybody in the general fitness really.
I'm thinking like myself as a basement owner, I can't do standing presses. I have to do seated military. I have the extra bench, but now I have 2 benches. It'd be nice to have 1 bench that did both those things. So,
good point. All right, next up, the Adonis Cable Tower. So this is something that many people have been really excited about for a long time. It went for pre-order earlier today. We're recording on Tuesday night. The most notable feature about this unit is its ability to do it has a 1-to-1 lat pull down / low row, and then also a 2-to-1 trolley for cable movements, kind of like your typical functional trainer. So it combines the benefits of a single stack cable column with a full lat pull down and low row. It also has like 3x3 with 1-inch hole upright, so you can have attachments to it. Honestly, I don't think the price is too bad. So it's definitely like an expensive investment, but the plate loaded with the base and the Pegasus seat attachment which is optional is $2679.99, whereas the selectorized is $29.99, $29.99.99.
$3,000.
So $3,000. So again, those include the base and Pegasus seat. Both include a 250-pound weight capacity. With the selectorized option, I believe
450-pound weight capacity.
What did I say?
250.
450. The next thing I was going to say was the selectorized option includes 210 pounds, if I remember correctly, and then you can add plates onto the plate holder. If you can look at the picture, you can see a plate holder that you can add plates to relatively easier. It's kind of like a regular plate loaded cable attachment. Also, there are 34 different cable heights. It's 92 inches tall, so it will fit in 8-foot ceilings. It's 55 inches deep. And then depending if you get the base or not, it is 43 to 45.5 inches wide. It can be attached to a rack. Like I mentioned earlier, it has those 3x3 with 1-inch holes. And then it also comes with a decent amount of attachments. So overall, pretty solid option. Kind of a dream item for a lot of people already. What do you think, Adam?
Yeah, I just want to talk about the price for a second, because you might get sticker shock. But then I kind of broke it down in my head, and it seems really well priced to me, because what I'm thinking this replaces is a selectorized lat pull low row, which just take the Bell's example, because that's a really nice example, $1,700, okay? And it also replaces a functional tower selectorized. Go ahead and take the Bell's example there. What is that, like $1,000-ish? So you're talking like $2,700, cutting your foot plate in half because you have one machine. It looks like it's done really nicely. I think the price is really good.
Yeah, I think it's really,
and
really
then you
solid.
have to compare this to the Prime single stack, right? And the Prime single stack shipped, I think we're talking $4,400. It's over $4,000.
Sure. I'm sure it's more than $4,000. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I think Rep killed it. But yeah, it's awesome.
I think they killed it. And then also, and next topic is Bulletproof. They must have saw that Rep said they were going to release this today, because just the day before they released their cable isolator, which is basically a somewhat, they're different, but somewhat similar. The Bulletproof option, you can have a lat pull down and low row, and I think it comes in like a 4-to-1 and 1-to-1 ratio. You have the ability to kind of add like an isolator-like attachment for leg curls and leg extensions. There's also like storage for all of the like isolator type like the isolator-like product. Yeah, I mean, it looks really cool. I posted on Instagram like an hour ago. I said, who do you got? This one or this? It looks exactly like this. And we'll follow up next week with the overall results, but it's tight. So Rep has 53% of the votes, and Bulletproof has 47% of the votes, and that's with 220 responses. And there's a ton of like really good feedback in here, which will next week I'll share some of the top responses as to
For sure.
why someone would choose this over the other. I think reps kind of got the benefit of the doubt because it's ready to go, and this one is just like a prototype. It may be.
It's not even right. It's
months.
just mock-ups.
Right. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Everything's like computerized images and stuff like that. Gotta say though, I love it. I mean,
Yeah.
the Bulletproof
It's
one
awesome.
looks sick. Like, yeah, it's cool.
It looks very cool. I honestly don't know which one I'd choose.
Oh,
I think I'd go with the rep one. I think this Bulletproof one's going to be pretty expensive, and you could probably get both of these units for the price of, or you could get 2 units like the rep, and then another leg machine for the same price as one. And that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking like this rep one, you got to beat it. So
yeah, and honestly, it feels like you're choosing between Ferraris and Lamborghinis. And I'm not a car guy. They both look sexy. I don't know. Close your eyes and pick one. I'm probably going rep 2. But that doesn't take anything away from that Bulletproof one.
Right. And I'm sure he's got like 10 more things that this can do.
Yeah.
So it's probably too early to judge.
Some transformer. Yeah. Cool.
Pretty cool. All right, next up, survey results. So we asked about 20 different topics, whether something was a fad or here to stay. It was year number 2 of this, and I'm not going to read all of them. I'm gonna pick out a couple that stand out to me, and you guys can read the follow-up blog, or you can pause the screen and take a look at it. But the number 1 fad was body tempering with 79% of the votes. Number 2 was toe spacers, 78% of the votes. I think smart baths or ice baths was another one that caught my eye. 62% think it is a fad. Barefoot shoes, 52% think it's a fad. Nordic curls, only 34% think it's a fad. CrossFit, 28% think it's a fad. And then just 10% think open trap bars are a fad. We did this last year. The biggest changer really was open trap bars. Much less people think it's a fad. And then squat wedges as well. Much less people think it's a fad. Excuse me.
Too much protein in your diet.
All right, that's going to do it for the survey results.
Moving on.
Like I said, you can take a better look. I was talking to Adam before. There's a ton of interest. He even said there was a ton of interesting info here. It's just kind of boring to read out loud. All right, and as Adam mentioned, I was able to go to Ursa a couple weeks ago, and I'm just going to give a quick rundown. Adam, do you know what Ursa is?
I mean, I know what it is just from like social media, and then you going out there and other people I've seen out there. So
yeah, so it's basically a convention for gym owners to go to, and it is the primary exhibitors are gym equipment suppliers. So, whereas HomeGymCon is like a convention for home gym owners, this is primarily a convention for gym owners or personal trainers or anybody who works in the fitness industry.
Even like big box gyms opening up locations, looking to fill a location, right?
Exactly.
It seems like a lot of Life Fitness, Matrix, like big companies that when you go to your commercial gym, that kind of stuff.
Exactly. I mean, it's a big commercial gym schmooze fest. So it is basically all the sales reps get together. They create these amazing booths. So there were some companies that, like Life Fitness, for example, or Technogym. Technogym probably had the craziest setup. So, you think about like some of their jobs are probably like $1 million jobs. So they're there to meet with their current clients, try and add more, or or just have general gym owners check out their stuff. And yeah, like I'm telling you, like their booth space was like, like let's see, 70, 80,000 square feet, just like massive. And they had like 30 or 40 employees just within that like booth. So it was pretty crazy. It's definitely not for the home gym industry unless you like just want to show off your stuff. But it was cool. It was cool. So I'm going to run through some of the more like home gym stuff I saw. Like I said, it was like, I would say it was like 95% commercial gym, 5% home gym type stuff. So number one, so the rep cardio. So you may have seen on social media that they are teasing some new cardio equipment, like a ski erg type. I don't think they call them that, but a ski erg, air bike, manual treadmill, ski erg, bike erg type, and then a rower. So the big difference with all of these is there's a variable resistance that you can add. So as opposed to like on a regular air bike, for example, the harder you push, the harder it goes. There's no like lever to change the resistance. So with all of these, there's a lever to change the resistance. I would say that I noticed this the most on like the ski erg type machine. Like I own a ski erg, I use it every 2 days, either as a warm up or as an actual workout. And I would say that the exertion or the level of resistance was maybe 2 times at the peak. So quite a bit more resistance. There's more resistance on the rower than like a Concept 2 rower. Same with the air bikes. The air bike was a lot bigger of a challenge just because you could change the resistance. And then the same thing with the treadmill. So you can run on that or also use it as a push. So, I mean, I would say you definitely need more time on these, but they were all pretty cool. I think the price on most of these, I think most people are gonna want these to be same price as a Concept 2 line or even cheaper, but they're not. I think with this added technology, it is going to be more expensive. Based on my conversations with them, I don't know how much more expensive, but I do think these are pretty cool. I don't want to like say they're the greatest thing ever with like a minute of use per each item.
Sure.
But I mean, I was impressed by them. I think like just off the top of my head, I would want to replace my Echo bike and then also the ski erg.
You would want to replace your Echo bike.
I would like that added resistance.
Wow.
I thought you could do something on the like one of the more premium Z-Bex air bikes, but I'm not quite sure. But
Yeah, if you
anyways,
don't know what Jake's talking about, they modeled it on their Instagram as well. The fan blade goes from churning vertical to horizontal, and just it looks like way more resistance than just turning a damper down. Yeah.
Right. There's more resistance. Yeah. So yeah, I was impressed. I think like I think it's going to take time for these to catch on, just because so many more people are used to like the Concept 2 products, but
sure.
Yeah, these were good. I wouldn't say they're the prettiest things.
They're a little tanky. They're bulky. I don't know if I dislike it or if it's just different for me.
Right.
I don't think I can say I dislike it yet, but it does take a while to get used to just looking at it.
Yeah. Anyways, good products, I think, based off of 10 minutes over there.
Yeah.
10 minutes checking them out. I mean, also I'll just like, we talk a lot of great things about Rep, but the people at their booth were just all very well. They had a ton of knowledge of their products. They seemed like they had a ton of knowledge of the home gym industry, are interested in like my feedback. So, I mean, it was pretty cool just to, I mean, and they did the same thing at HomeGymCon last year, you know, and just like, you know, with their general marketing and interactions with the community. Very impressive. And it's cool that like they hire engineers that, and then they all seem to like work out a ton and actually use this equipment. And that's why it keeps getting better and better.
Yeah, when you said that, it brings me to a story. We're at the Arnold, and some of the rep engineers are going around. They made it to our booth, and our Arnold booth was to promote the first HomeGymCon, and we had just like a hodgepodge of like cool home gym equipment, like all shoved on this one rack. And this engineer comes up, he goes, "Oh, this rack is from da da da, and this is from this, and this is from this." And he goes, "Yeah, I just love home gym stuff." It's like that's so cool for like someone engineering rep products to come and like be able to name everyone else's products and have like, you know, no competition involved in it. Just like, I like this stuff. Like this is our stuff. I love it. So that was cool.
Same vibe. Yep. The Relentless Ripper from Torque, you know, again, like 2 minutes on this thing, but I do think it's legit. It felt pretty much like a Concept 2 ski erg, easy to adjust. The resistance, I think when it was at its highest level, was pretty similar to Concept 2 ski erg at its highest level. So if you are looking to save some space compared to like that rep option or the Concept 2 ski erg, you know, honestly, you know, I said this was my favorite product on an Instagram post, but I would rather have that rep ski erg than this, just because of that resistance. But this would be cool. I have a great spot for it. I would love to be able to do this. I was impressed with the Relentless Ripper, which someone in a group chat said the name sounded like a like a fart name.
It does. Yeah.
It does.
It does.
I never thought of that until they said that, and now I can't.
That's good.
Oh well.
Might use that one later. That's good.
There was some cool touchscreen tech that I saw there. So this was an example, if you're looking at the screen from Echelon, but I also saw like a random Chinese manufacturer, I think, who's probably the manufacturer of this, selling this product as well. So I don't know if it's Echelon or that factory. But anyways, this was a functional trainer example where you had the ability to change the weight on a touch screen. That was a little clunky. It just kind of had to like move screens. But you could also change it from standard to eccentric to isokinetic and then also elastic. So 4 different types of using it. It was the most user friendly just because you had to like go to the screen each time, change it. You had to hit back, hit exit, you know, but I thought this was a sign of maybe something that's to come, specifically with the like changing of the weight types. If you've ever used like eccentric, for example, quite a bit different than just lifting something standard. And there's also many benefits. Like I think like a personal trainer could really get value out of changing movements like this for people. There was also a leg curl and leg extension that did the same thing. That was kind of cool too. Back to the Rep Arcadia Max functional trainer. This looked like a pretty solid functional trainer. You know, it should be released soon. It has more storage. It seems like they fixed all of the little kind of nitpicky things with the first Arcadia functional trainer. So, you know, again, just making the best, probably the best best product for the home gym owner for a certain type of product. I thought the Leico booth was like really impressive. I've never used a Leico equipment. I don't think. Yeah. So I've never really used it, but like just going up to their racks and their systems, feeling their cable system, their Smith machine was the smoothest Smith machine I've ever touched. It was so smooth. So, I just was impressed with the Leica booth. Don't necessarily think best for most people, obviously, but you can really see why the price is what it is and why like certain gyms would want to fill their stuff. And then just a few more things I saw. So I saw Adam from Garage Gym Lab, his banner behind the snowed adjustable dumbbells. That was funny. I messaged him. He didn't know he was going to be there. And then just like off of that, there were a fair amount of like just Chinese brands that had all of their stuff, which was pretty good stuff for the most part. Or a lot of people had nice stuff, and it was just the factories like selling to people or potential suppliers, which was interesting. Most of them couldn't really speak much English, so that's just. I mean, the point is just to say that was there. I thought the Anchor functional trainer or rack attachment was cool. You've heard about it, and it's like one of those things where you really might want to try before you buy. So I got my hands on that. I think that would be a good option for a lot of people. Found some cool like ergo grips that we've seen on Amazon, and it looks like they continue to evolve. So kind of like we've discussed with the attachments that feel almost better than regular attachments. These ergo grips. I've tried to get them to HomeGymCon, so maybe these might be a HomeGymCon. American Barbell had a cool booth. They had some cool like light features to make your logo stand out. Yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. Yeah, Adam, maybe you can go with me next year. That'd be cool.
I will go with you next year.
All right.
Done.
I think it's in Las Vegas next year.
I shouldn't go with you. All right, Jake and I are going to continue our fictional gym builds. I say like quote unquote fictional because a lot of this stuff happens to like make its way into our gyms. So as of this point, if you're looking at the media, we've got racks, benches, bars, first specialty bars, weights. We even added dumbbells, not in the photo there. But today we're picking 3 items, and all 3 items are under $100. Not total. Each item individually is under $300. I'm sorry. All 3 items are under $100 a piece. There it is. So we'll start with my 3 items first, and under $100. These are 3 things that stick out to me. I either have them or have had them, and like them so much I added them to my list. So the first one is your standard your standard rings. Why am I blanking on that? Rings, right, Jake? Gymnastics rings. Oh my gosh.
Gymnastics rings.
Sounded weird. Yeah, your standard gymnastics rings. Doesn't matter which brand or anything that you go with, I don't think. Some have some pretty cool features as far as like putting them up and stuff like that. Gymnastics rings are a daily part of my routine, whether it's warming up or accessory work. I think you can do so much with them for like the cost of $40 and something to hang them on. So gymnastics rings, that's a big one. Next up is a slant board. Personally, I have struggled with mobility and still do. And so having a slant board has been a key feature in my leg days. And then also like you can get some pretty cool, unique accessory work doing some other mobility type items. But a slant board's been huge for me. I can squat pain-free, hit depth, and build my mobility when I don't use it. So I've noticed that using it has made me more mobile even when I'm not on it. The last one is a pair of the Titan roller J-cups. I had these when I had a 2x2 rack. Got rid of the 2x2 rack. I now have a 3x3 rack. I don't have a pair, and you don't know what you have until it's gone. I really miss having these. You'll rack your weight, you'll get back under, and it seems silly. You just want that bar an inch to the right, and that's where you're going to miss these. So probably adding these soon. I think actually for the 3x3 rack, they're slightly over $100, but I mean, with the rings, I have room to wiggle. So these are my 3 items, Jake. What'd you go with?
Nice. So, fun fact: we did record this episode. We had some editing and audio issues. So I changed a few of my items. But I went with my favorite collars are, and I would say I've tested out quite a bit of collars, not as many as some others, but the ones that I would choose out of the ones I've used before are the Rogue Aluminum USA collars. So they are, I think, like $68, so more than most, but not as quite as expensive as some of the most premium ones. They lock in really great. They're easy to use, and you can just they're magnetic, so they can store on your rack, or it's easy to put on your rack, change the plates, and then put right back on to the bar. So I think the magnetic feature of the collars is a good one, something I would buy right away. I'd go with rings as well, similar to Adam, and similar reasons he mentioned as well. They're just so versatile, and like he said, you can get some for like $40. And then just thinking about the items I already have, I think the next versatile item for under $100 would just be a basic curl bar, and I'll go with one from Titan for $95. That is tough to beat. Definitely some better options out there, but that's going to add some variety to my lifts early on in that home gym journey for under $100. So
it's a great three items.
Thank you. If you're still listening, let us know whose 3 items you like better. And
that's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you for listening. If you like tonight's episode, be sure to keep your eye out for new episode releases wherever you listen to podcasts. Stay involved on our social media sites by following Garage Gym Experiment and taking part in our Sunday surveys on Instagram so that you can be a part of these conversations. Like, follow, subscribe to the channel on YouTube, and get involved on our website for all your home gym content needs. HomeGymCon's coming up in April. We want to see you in French Lick, so go to HomeGymCon.com or follow HomeGymCon on your socials. Reminder, those hotel block they're filling up or have already filled up. So make sure you're figuring out where you're going to stay, Best Western, Airbnbs. But we want to see you out there in April. Jake, anything else left for the listeners?
Nope.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time. Goodbye.